watch what we say.
All right. Now, don't say anything past what we just talked about because it's a federal offense. Moving on.
Is it rolling, Bob?
Let's see. Where is my slide deck? There it is. Stand by.
Wow.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Look at that. Look at that year, 20,201. That's good, Aaron.
Boy.
We're way into the future.
What a great year it's been. Welcome to the January meeting. Not that year. All right, look at that. It's the same stuff. Announcements. We'll talk about the exercise. We're having an exercise this Saturday. And today we're going to talk about Chirp, a little bit about Chirp. And then probably babble a little bit and close it out. So, hey, look, announcements. I actually changed this slide a little bit. So we have our digital workshop on the fourth Tuesday of every month. I think everyone here has been to at least one of them. Local net. So on the first Thursday at 8:30 after the club meeting on the 146, 835, we have a net. But this is new. Look at this. On the third Thursday at 8:30 right after the club net, we're going to have an HF net. We're going to start that this month and see how that goes. So that's going to be on or about 3975. That's 80 meters. That's a lower sideband. If you guys have never done HF before, then I think everyone here has. You say plus or minus because there's always somebody on. You pick a frequency and it's going to be in use, so you got to move up or down some. So you just got to find it. We're going to give that a try and see how that goes. See other nets. There's a statewide phone net on the same frequency at 5, which I missed. I thought it was at 6, and then I tuned in and I was like, well, that's not the net I thought it was. That's the traffic net. Let's see, we have the Northeast District WindLink net. You guys know about that. Statewide. How many times do I have to say this? You guys got anything else? Any other announcements for us? Nothing? No. All right. So let's talk about the exercise then. So this Saturday, January 9th. Wait, what's today? The 5th, 6th. Yeah, that's the right date. So at 9 a.m., we'll get started. This is going to be an operate from home or safely mobile. So just do it from your shack unless you really want to go mobile.
I'll probably go mobile since I'll be have to be on somewhere outside of my home.
All right, that's fine. So we'll first check in on the 835 repeater just to get a roster, just so I can write down because we got to turn in those hours. By the way, I'll have to add an event for this in ARES Connect if I haven't done so already. I don't think I have. But make sure you get that. I'll do that tonight, but make sure you register for that. So we'll check in on the repeater and then we'll probably pop back over to 3975 on phone just to see who can talk to others. That'll be just a few minutes. And then we'll break from there and then we'll send WindLink messages. What we'll probably do is have everyone check in. I say check in. We'll probably have everyone just send a bogus 213 form like we did for that one exercise where it's like earthquake is hit and assess the damage at your house and send me a 213 form. The focus on this one should be for WindLink HF though. If you have HF capabilities, make an effort to connect to an HF gateway as opposed to packet or telnet, just to move on to the next step there and get some practice.
Question?
Go ahead.
Yeah, could you send a short email about the best gateways to use for this exercise?
I can tell you the ones I use.
Okay.
Not off the top of my head. I'll send you guys an email.
That'd be good because I was looking for the gateways. I couldn't find any anywhere. So
we can look at that real fast before we go today, Rick. I'll show you. I know you texted me and I replied with something and you didn't get back. So I either he found the answer or he didn't know what I was talking about. So I figured, but we can look at that before we go today. So we're gonna have two-way comms. So I'm gonna reply to your messages with another message, and it will have some task in it. It'll probably be something stupid, like make up a response type stuff. But depends on how well you did. If you send me a poor form, I'm gonna send you a poor response. Make you run around the house 5 times or something. But no, we'll so you'll check in with the form, I'll reply, and then expect a reply back, and then that'll be the end of it, right? It'll be very casual, very short.
Starts at 9 o'clock.
Yep, 9 o'clock. Unless you guys have a better time, it's just the time that I guess we have settled on as the
That's good.
de facto standard. And remember your 214 forms. The 214 is the log of what you're doing. So you should have a 214 with you the whole time and have 9 o'clock checked into the net, 9:10 checked into the HF, whatever, that type thing. Send a message, receive a message, send a message. So gotta get practiced on that. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, this is the 12th month. No, this is the 13th month. It's the Lumpkin County ARES. So we've been around a year now. We had great hopes last January. We all met in the EOC, and then we haven't seen each other since, thanks to the nice virus going around. But it's been a year, so weird. All right, that was unrelated. Any questions on the exercise? All right, the next one will probably do something mobile. So you guys be thinking about a place to go and operate safely from. That can be your backyard. That can be down the street. That can be a park. It can be a state park, wherever. Just we want to start getting outside of the comfort of our own shacks. And it's probably going to still be cold in February. So keep that in mind too. But think about someplace. I'll probably just box everything up and drive down to the end of the road here. There's a high spot on the end of the road. Probably put my push-up mast up. I'll probably go from there. But just be thinking about that. All right. Anything
HF? We're gonna do HF or VHF, or do you know?
for the next one?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Doesn't matter, man. I can do both.
Yeah, I guess we could do HF. So I want to not say that this is an HF exercise. This is an HF exercise. I want to say that's the expectation. But if you can't make it or don't have the capability or something like that, then we can, you can still participate with, other modes, other frequencies rather. But yeah, I mean, HF probably is going to be our mode, not mode. I keep saying mode. Our choice of communications, just because we're mountainous, we're pretty spread out, so it's probably good to have that capability and practice that so we can actually communicate, especially like, I don't have to say it again. When the hurricane rolled through, we lost both repeaters, right?
Yeah, we did.
We.
How many people here have mobile or portable HF capabilities? I do not.
No, I
can
don't.
have.
I don't. I mean, it's possible, I guess, with enough work, but
And a little money.
it always takes a little money, right? Money makes the world go round.
Yeah. So I've got an 857, and what we're talking about is, NVIS for 80 meters, which is just, you can get 6-foot poles on the ground, put 3 of them down, and you'll be fine for that. Just to put a wire up as an antenna. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be like Russ with the antenna permanently mounted to his truck, so he can do HF mobile.
Well, I was thinking about getting my buddy stick back out.
Oh yeah, that's
Working
right. I
with it.
forgot you had that. See, that would be great for that, I think. So,
I think I've got an 80-meter coil for it, so maybe I'll just start put that together.
yeah, we can try
Put
that out.
the TS or that 440 in the truck and All I need is a long extension cord.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need. Get
I
five.
guess I should be looking for an alternate radio. I'm not taking the 7300 out in the car.
Oh, come on. It's mobile. It's only like this
So-
big.
450 or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
300 to work. Stick an antenna on it.
What was that, Russ?
So 7300 to work fine. You just stick an antenna on it and little battery. I'll
Yeah,
take my 91.
Yeah, I know it'll work, but I'd rather it stay right here on the bench.
All right. Anything else on that?
Yeah, I'll mention something.
Next. Go ahead.
What about perhaps an inter agreement between like Lumpkin and White County? So if one of the 2 meter repeaters is down, using the other as an alternate, so that if because that's the 2 meter stuff is probably our best shot for the most amount of people.
Yeah.
And so, if you can't find somebody on the 835 and something's going on over there, then probably most of you guys can hit Long Mountain.
Yeah.
Everybody but me.
With Smiley.
And me.
Ironically, yeah, Rick. Yeah, I mean, we probably need to look at that.
I think a
Let's see.
list of places where to look, I
Mhm.
mean, obviously the 835 is first and then the 2 on top of Bisky Mountain. And
Yeah.
then,
Well, the Gainesville repeaters might be available.
yeah, linear or, whatever works best for the most amount of people. And then,
Yeah, there are a few out there that we can get access to. Like there's 1 or 2 in Pickens County we can have access to. Like you said, the Hall County ones are actually pretty good. You can get there. The ones in Sawney Mountain and Cumming are probably will cover everyone but Smiley. All these are everyone but Smiley.
Actually, I have been able to hit the Sony repeater.
Okay, well maybe that's it. I mean, we know those guys down there. Great, we got great relationship with them at state level, so we can just give them a call. That's kind of related to what we're going to talk about with Chirp here. I've got a few things already, a few repeaters already in the memory channels here that we can look at. But yeah, I guess the 205 is probably the best bet for all this stuff. Start on the repeaters and go down until you find somebody. Because there's, the 2 repeaters in Lumpkin County, then there's the simplex frequencies, and there's, some WinLink frequencies. But we can always just add a few of those tertiary and quadriary. Is that the right word? Quadriary.
Quaternary.
Quaternary. Thank you. Repeaters on that list to try. So.
Okay.
But yeah, good idea, Paul. Thanks. Anything else? All right. Next up, let's talk about Chirp. You guys ever heard of Chirp? I'm sure all of you have. I know Paul has. Sure, Brad has.
Yeah. So disk for rotary, right? Your disk program disk, right?
Yeah, so it's a tool for programming your radio, right? The main function of it is you take your memories and you save them off, and then you can restore them to another radio. Say you break your radio or something, you get a new one, you can push those same on there. But it's a powerful tool. Actually, that function is very powerful for perhaps us as an organization, because you can import and export those memory channels to save them off. But when you have consistent results across your own radios and consistent results across everyone's radios, right? So everyone's channel 1 is the same, everyone's channel 2 is the same. it really alleviates a lot of pressure, especially what we just talked about, where we need to have other repeaters in the area programmed. If we all have the same image installed, even though that's not the right term, then we can actually, we could go through and say, all right, we're going to meet on the White County repeater, and everyone knows the White County repeater is it's labeled on your radio already, so you can actually go straight there. So it's a really cool tool for that. So,
And it's free.
and it's free. It works on Windows, Mac, Linux, Pi 2. It's easy install on Windows. It's a next finish. And if you just Google Chirp, it's not the first one or the second one or third one. I think it's like the fourth one. It's the obvious one. I think one of them's like back pain relief. One of them's like something related to wood. I can't remember. But anyway, it's easy to find. It's the Dan Planet one to download that. So what you'll need is your radio and a programming cable for your radio. The operation of it is you download the image from your radio, you make modifications, and you upload the image back to it. Or you have a stored image that you had in the past and just push that to your radio. It's the importing of the memory channels, like I said, is the important part. There's Alan. Hold on a second, I gotta admit him. But it's also, you can set up the rest of your settings and push those out. So if you have certain buttons on your own radio that you want to reprogram, you can do it there. So
Aaron, let me ask you a question about that address that you've got up there. It ends
Yeah.
in wiki and home and stuff. Is that actually the site where we could download Chirp?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm assuming that the RT Systems cables, since they're proprietary, do not work with Chirp.
You know what? Maybe.
Well, that's definitive.
I used one. I have used their cable with my radio and Chirp.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The aftermarket cables, there's 3 different converters for the USB to serial. The original one was Prolific. There's some Chinese clones of the Prolific that are problematic on trying to use. They will work if you have the right driver, and there's one that begins with F. Aaron,
You got to reset the driver on your computer back to the Stone Age to use that.
yeah. Well, no, if you're careful about which aftermarket cable you buy, the other chip is, Aaron probably knows, begins with an F.
FTDI, is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah, something like that. That one the driver works for. So if you're going to buy an aftermarket cable, I would look for one of those. That way you don't have to be held hostage by ICOM or RT Systems.
So here's that site that was listed there for everybody. Just get it up here at the top, but this is a list of all the radios that it supports, and it's a pretty long list. Let's see, there's what is that, the Baofengs? Is that what those are, the big list? Yeah. I think everyone's got one of these. What's this one?
Everything changes their numbers like I change my underwear.
I know. Let's see. There's a bunch of icons there. There's some Yaesus. So got a few of those. I got a few in this list. So there's a bunch of Kenwoods. Got a few. I got one of those. Got one of those. So it's a pretty long list. It's obviously, I'm not going to say it's complete, but it's pretty good. So it's, you probably won't have a problem with radio compatibility, like Paul is implying there. We have a problem with the programming cable. Make sure you get the right one, and make sure it's set up properly. So So when you open Chirp, it looks like this, and that's amazing, isn't it? Actually, I think it looks different if you open it up without having clicked around. But let me flip over. Stand by, guys. No, what am I doing? Oh, there it is. Hold on. Oh, oh, look at that. That's fancy. You guys see the video there too as well?
Yeah.
So this is one of my Yaesu FT4Xs. I have several of these. I have many of these actually. Between me and Renee, there's a lot of them here. Great little radio, dual band, right? 2 meter 440. I reset this one to factory default just for this. Hey, because I got it backed up, I can just restore it. Anyway. So the first thing you want to do is tell Chirp what kind of radio you have, right? The best way to do that is go to radio and then download from radio. Can you guys see all this pretty well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to pop up and ask you what the COM port is and then the vendor, right? So this is a Yaesu 4XR, right? It's on COM6. That's my COM port. This is one of the curses of what we do here is you got to know what the COM port is. We have that same problem with rig control, right? Some of the software.
Now, which
I've been
com
doing this all.
which COM6
ahead.
does that refer to though? The one in your Windows?
So that's my Windows COM port, and that is the one that when I plug this cable in, which is my programming cable, that shows up as COM6.
Okay.
As opposed to COM8, which is my SDR play, or COM7, which is my FT2000 controls. You know, I need to write them down, but it gets confusing. But anyway, so when you click on this guy, you'll see the radio change right there. It's kind of flashing. Transmit, and the S meter becomes a progress bar.
Huh.
So we'll just wait for it. It only takes a few seconds. This says clone, and now we have some settings. So import all the memory channels, which was none, right? Because I reset the factory default. And then there's some settings in here that you can change around as well. This is the settings in the menu that you would normally go and do, and customize. You can do that from here. But what we really care about is the memories. So I'm gonna go ahead and power the radio off and right back on again just to get out of clone mode. And you see there's still nothing going on. Now what I have is a CSV file. So everyone know what a CSV file is? Comma separated value.
No.
Yes.
So it's basically a text file. It's kind of like a spreadsheet. So it's a field, comma, a field, comma, a field. I set up my radio and I exported out all of my memory channels into a CSV file through Chirp, and we can look at that here in a second. But the important piece here is if we go to file import and we pick that file, which I've got, this is Lumpkin County ARES baseline. Look at that, that's from September. That's how long it's been. It's going to pull up a little window that says, I'm going to import all these in for you. And you can uncheck the ones you don't want, but we want all of them, right? So we click OK, and there they are. Now what I can do, it's just imported in the software. So now we do radio, upload to radio. Now we've made all our changes, made our memory changes, made all our settings changes. Now we're going to push it to the radio. So now we do upload to radio, and it'll ask you again the COM port. Notice the vendor and the model are grayed out. You can't change that because we've already told it that this is FT4X. We'll do a different radio here in a second. You can see the difference. So we click OK, and things should start flashing again. Now it says RX because it's receiving, and it's got the same progress bar. And we stare at it, and we stare at it, and hope it goes faster. Come on, you can do it. All right, now it says clone. Now we turn it off and back on again. Now, if I go into memory mode here, press the button. See memories. Now I have memories in here. So there's Lum 2 meter, 70 centimeters, or White County, Hall County, Forsyth County, Pickens County. There's a simplex 1 and 2 frequencies. There's your WinLink peer-to-peer frequency for Packet. Another WinLink frequency. So these are all of the frequencies that we imported in from that CSV file have been pushed to this radio. Now we're ready to go. If I had another 4X, I could just plug it in and do it again. And now both of those radios are exactly the same. All right, so those are pretty much cloned. So I go too fast on that? You guys pick that up?
Can you print that display right there?
Can I print it?
Yeah, can you print it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you could go into the CSV, open it in your Excel program, and then print it from there.
Yeah.
It'll open in Excel.
Yeah, that CSV will open in Excel.
Yeah, so
And
if
then
I
you can
go,
print
I
it from Excel.
think it's in my documents here.
If you're using Windows, you could do a screen print.
Yeah, there you go. All right. The reason I ask is, but I'll probably be using RT Systems since I have that for all the radios.
Okay.
But I'll just need, a picture of that to set it up.
Well, I'll make this easier. There's this little button right here that says show empty. Because notice I have these broken down. The repeaters are like 1 through 6. Then we jump down to 21 for the simplex frequencies. And then we jump down to 31 for the WinLink relay stuff. If I just unclick the show empty, that makes it a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Right.
Can you send us that file, that CVS file?
What was that, Rick? Hold on a sec, Brad.
Can you send me that CVS file?
Yeah, we'll post that up on the group IO, and I'll let everyone know it's
Okay,
there.
great.
Go ahead,
'Cause my
Brad.
problem has always been, I've got 10,000 different files that I've tried to collect together, and I end up with duplicates and triplicates and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing is, you got to watch, some places you have the ARES, the automatic repeaters
Oh, yeah.
system. And when you get to Lumpkin County, you guys have got that offset backwards.
Yep. You're right.
And you got to be kind of sharp to catch that.
What did I get wrong, Brad? I see you staring.
Well, the offset on location 4 and 5, it's 550 kilohertz instead of 600.
Oh, yeah, I saw that the other day. I don't know what happened. I thought I had fixed that, but I guess not. I guess I'll have to go into the CSV file and fix that. Yeah, I did notice that yesterday. It's like, where did that come from? I don't even know. There we go. Sorry. So if I made a change, I need to upload it again. So let's upload it again.
Yeah, those little things like that screw you up.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
I think that might be one of the reasons why I haven't been able to hit the Lumpkin County repeater.
maybe.
I did fix it on my big rig, but I haven't fixed it on my walkie-talkies yet,
Yeah.
or handy-talkies, whatever you call them.
All right. So in theory, that should be fixed. All right. Any questions so far?
I've
Okay.
got about a dozen cables, so
This,
if anybody needs to use one, I've got.
Go ahead, Paul.
the you can save this in the format for the Chirp and load them back in directly too, without
Yes.
going through the CVS. And this sure makes things a lot easier for programming radios.
Yeah.
And-
So
and,
yeah, you're right. So notice at the top, there's a little tab here. It says Yaesu FT4XR Untitled with an asterisk, meaning it's not saved. I'm going to close this and it's going to say, you want to save this before you close it? And I'm going to say no. Because I can go in and do file open, and I already have an image from earlier today for a 4XR. It was from yesterday, I guess. Look, same issue.
Yeah.
Ignore that part. But
At least
like
you're
Paul-
consistent.
yeah, I know. Like Paul was saying though, this is an image file. This is a Chirp image file that if I had another, I have a brand new FT4X, I can just pull up this image, plug this cable in, and just upload and flash the whole thing just immediately, right from this image file without doing the import, which is really great. Actually, we used this tool. I'm sure I need to re-image it now that I don't know where the 550 came from, but we actually bought Lorraine, our EMA director. We bought her an FT4X for a 6-gap so she could listen in, and used Chirp to just to push it. I think I pushed a different. Well, let me think. September. Yeah, it would have been this version of the CSV file. So we just pushed that image right to that radio and put it right back in the box and gave it to her. So, and she was able to use it. So check this out. So this is an FT25. So this is a 2-meter only radio. Luckily, it uses the exact same cable. So I'm going to plug this guy in and turn her on, I guess.
Are these cables rig specific?
Well, it's the general programming cable for your radio. So I think Yaesu has families of radios, and ICOM has families of radios that work, but they don't work on all of them, right?
They don't work between platforms, or they don't work
Oh,
within a family?
they definitely do not work between platforms. Like,
Right.
So the FT25 is from, and the FT65, is that right?
Mhm.
Are the same, or one generation. The next generation of those radios is this 4X. So it's the same family of radios. So we happen to have the programming cable hasn't changed between them. But I couldn't plug this into, we swap out radios. I couldn't plug that into that guy, even though, it's a Yaesu FT3D. It's not the same
Mhm.
programming cable. So,
I think the FT60 is also different.
is it?
Yeah, it's like it's a 15-year-old radio
Yeah.
or 18 maybe.
Let me set this to factory default. Get it. All these buttons, you have to press all the buttons and turn it off. Well, turn it off, press all the buttons and turn it back on. Oh. See if I can get it to do it. Oh, it takes too much coordination. I'm not this coordinated.
I mean, sometimes the differences are very obvious because the data port for the programming cable aren't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got different connectors on them.
Yeah, like this cable will definitely not work on, say, a Baofeng, right? Or a Kenwood HT.
But the Baofeng cable will work on most of the Chinese radios.
Correct. You are correct.
It even works on my walkie-talkies.
All right, so I reset this guy to factory default. If I go into memory mode here, you guys can't see it because it's too big. There's nothing in there. It's just the 144,000 it's in there. But I can actually go and open an image that I saved earlier, an FT25R. What a coincidence. Notice the tabs up here. I got an additional tab.
And there's the 5500 again.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. That's called garbage in, garbage out. You guys ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
You mess it up early, you messed it up late. But anyway. So in this case, you notice that there's one fewer in the list than this one. Someone quickly tell me why.
It's a
Because you can't do packet, you
so
can't
just
do
2-meter radio.
pen link with it.
Well, it's a 2-meter only, and there's a 440 repeater in here. So
Yeah.
if I were to take this and do the same import on top, where we'll still have the wrong offset in those, this is grayed out.
Yeah.
And if you mouse over it, it'll tell you why. It'll say cannot be imported because frequency, blah, 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 is at a supported range. So it's smart enough to know what kind of radio, what the capabilities are within reason. and take care of that for us. So now we do an upload like we did before to push, and we'll see that should change. There it goes. This the display on this radio is so much better than that other one to me. I just love this display of it so much more. I mean, it's still slow, and I have to start babbling for nonsense to kill the time or fill the time. Anyway, there you go. Clone OK. Turn it off. Turn it back on. And there we go. There's Lumpkin again. White County, Hall County. Then these are the ones that won't work. All right. So if you had a different radio, you could do what we did originally, is plug the cable in, do a radio download, and it will set up a new tab for that radio, and then you can do the import again to any radio, right? So if I could get my FT 3DR working, I'd import these same frequencies in the memory of that guy too. Or my Kenwood D71 that I have sitting as my 2-meter 440 station in the shack, or my D710 in my mobile. I can use that. I can use the same broken CSV file to make it not work in my mobile. So it's a pretty good tool, especially so, like I said, amongst the group, well, even amongst your own radios, that you have the same repeaters in all your memories of all your radios. And if we have the same amongst all of us, then we know that, we don't have to, bounce around trying to figure out what is the offset for the 910 repeater over White County, right? So if we all have that already, we can go ahead and just move to it pretty seamlessly. So, pretty good tool. And like I said, it's free. Like Paul said, it's free. You just got to find the right cable for it, but good stuff. So I'll fix that CSV file maybe. No, I'll fix it. And I'll post it on the group IO on the file so we can all have a copy of it. And we can start from there. This is very simple. I just did this off the top of my head. I just went through old 205s and populated it from there, as well as I know some of the repeaters in the area, like the Hall County and the Forsyth County and the Pickens County. I know those are used by their ARES group sometimes. Maybe the Hall County might not be, but the other ones are. So it's all ARES related here. So, all right, any questions? Anything? You guys asleep yet?
No,
Not
but
quite.
I wanted to say there, Tom put out a list of local repeaters, and I think all of these are on it. If you wanted to get to use that too, there's some other repeaters around that you can use.
Yeah, we got to be careful there because I don't want like all of them in there, right? I don't want it to be cumbersome,
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a good place to look. Now that you mentioned, I do remember him sending out that list. We'll have to look through that and see which ones we need to include there.
Okay. You need a copy of that list?
I'm sure I got it. He sent it to the group IO for over there, didn't he?
I'm not sure. I know.
If I don't have it, I'll email you, Rick. If you got it.
Okay. Yeah, I've got several copies of it. I can fax you over a copy.
Fax me over a copy. Okay.
What do you call it when you take a picture of it and send it to you? I don't know.
You can just text me the photo. It's fine.
All right, there we go. I could PDF it and put it on email.
Am I hashtagging when I do that? Anything else? Anybody?
That looks good.
Paul looks like he's about to demo something.
No, I was just getting out my Baofeng. I have about 40 stations in there, but and I have them listed by where they are. Kind of, you got by county. I have, I think I have like cities and what state they're in.
Yeah.
But I to cover just about any place within 50 or 100 miles of my home.
Yeah. There you go.
So.
The big problem is that you don't get much space to put the name in there.
You are correct.
You can't put, Cleveland 2-meter repeater in there. It just won't fit.
Yeah. You are correct. That's what it wasn't scientific or anything. I was like, well, I'll just use 3 characters for a county and then the band it's on. That should be good enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of do that. I use like a 2 for 2 meters, or either a 4 or 7 for the, for 440s.
Yeah.
And like 4 letters, you know, 4 letters for the city, kind of a bastardized.
Mhm. Yeah, just to make it interpretable. Right?
Yeah. And then some of them were I went through and got a lot of the ARES frequencies, because I figured those were probably somebody, the chances of getting somebody monitoring the thing.
Uh-huh.
I got Lawrenceville coming, Alpharetta, West Atlanta, Hiawassee, Blue Ridge, Blairsville, LEJ, Jasper, Calhoun, Clarksville, Toccoa, Clayton, Hartwell, Liberty, South Carolina, Franklin, North Carolina, Hayesville, Andrews, North Carolina.
Oh yeah. Do you
Cleveland,
travel up there on your motorcycle, right?
Huh?
You go up there on your motorcycle a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I always have one of these in my saddlebag.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't carry my D-Star handheld anymore, because my first one bounced off out of a pocket and I lost it.
Oh, I remember that day. You were having a good one. That I think was it raining that day too or something?
No, the clutch cable broke on my motorcycle and I was driving it without a clutch, and it was kind of, trying to shift gears was a little abrupt, and I had it stuffed in a pocket behind my seat back.
Yeah, yeah.
Somewhere between, trying to remember, I might have been over at Les's house or something.
Yeah, I thought it was local. Yeah.
From Les's house over here, I think it might have been at Les Green's house, coming to my house, which is about 10 or 15 miles. And so anyway, that was an expensive learn.
Yeah.
Now I have nice antennas for my Baofeng.
There you go.
So
Or you see the
You
antenna.
know, Paul, I got a question for you. Do you
sure.
notice when you use them, if you wiggle the antenna, that it interferes with it a lot?
I don't know. I bought 5 of these antennas, I think, for like $1 a piece. And I haven't noticed anything happening, but by the same token, I'm not trying to wiggle them. I mean,
I
haven't
noticed if you move your radio a little bit, like when you're talking on it starts losing signal, or it starts being weird anyway.
Maybe it's a loose solder or something inside that radio.
Oh,
I see you talking, Smile, but you're muted. There you go.
I had a similar problem with an ICOM V86. Every time I would wiggle it, it would interfere with the receiving. And I sent it off to ICOM. Of course, they made a complete fool out of me. They said, well, you got to quit touching your antenna. And it had nothing to do with the connection, but when you touch the antenna, then you fool with the reception.
Yeah.
They become a capacitor.
It's kind of like when your ladder line touches the pole, the metal pole outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, why won't it too?
Oh, by the way, hi, Alan. saw you come in earlier. All right, I got the CSV file up. Can you guys see that? Let me see if I can zoom that in. Oh, there we go. So you shouldn't need to see this directly, but if you did an export, this is what you'd wind up with. Is the first line is the column header, so location, name, frequency, blah, blah, blah. and then each subsequent line is a memory channel, and you can see the information for each. I corrected that 5500 or whatever, the 550 manually here, and re-imported it, and it seems to work fine. So just a novelty to see this part.
You'd make better sense out of it if you imported it into a spreadsheet, though.
Yeah, I don't have any Office products installed in this machine though.
That's why God invented LibreOffice.
That'll work.
That's why I got invented sheets.google.com. Brad asked me one day, he's like, can you do everything you do with a Chromebook? I'm like, probably. Everything but WinLink. But anyway. All right, well, there's Chirp. You guys have any questions? I know some of you used it before. Brad, you used this before, right?
Yeah.
I've been using this since Hector was a pup.
The only thing you might find weird about it is maybe all the settings for your radio won't be in there.
Yeah.
The common stuff will be, but the common things might be in there, but your radio may have a lot more settings than what Chirp handles.
Yeah, RT Systems is the same way. All the settings are not in there either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna be all inclusive. And I found like on my 25 here, like enable the beeper. It's set to off, but it's still beeping. Even if I push it. So some of them don't quite get pushed. As long as the memories get pushed, that's all I really care about. I'm not, I think it's only a couple that I changed from default from the factory anyway. So.
Now, one thing with this is all these, transceivers that are supported are done by, members of the Chirp community. They're not by the manufacturer. So, sometimes there's some glitches in them, and sometimes they release fixes. So occasionally you might want to download a newer version of Chirp so that you've got the latest, fixes.
And I opened up the version I had on my laptop here the other day, and it's like, and it told me, hey, there's a new version. You should go download it. So it does some checking too. So, but yeah, you're right. You won't get support for everything if you don't have the latest and greatest, or you won't get the bug fixes. All right. Anything else from anybody on this? Like I said, I'll put the CSV file up, and so you guys can download and play with a little bit. And any suggestions, then let me know. We'll get it in there, and then keep publishing this. So part of our operations for any exercise or deployment will be download the new CSV file and import them in. Right, that way we all have the latest and greatest copy on all of our HTs. Does that make sense?
Yes, Kimosabe.
Cool. All right. All right. What was I doing? We're still having a meeting. All right. That's all I got. So next exercise, like I said, we'll do some mobile stuff, right? We want to be mobile if we can, and we'll have some injects. We'll see if Renee can help us out with that. Just doing injects. That'll be sometime in February, maybe mid-February. Anyone doing, isn't Winter Field Day at the end of this month? Anyone doing that?
Yeah, I don't know when.
I may give it a shot, but
I probably do some of it.
yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other big things going on.
When is Winterfield Day? What is that date?
It's the last full weekend, whatever that is.
Last rainy weekend.
last snowy weekend. Let's see if I got a calendar here.
Are you talking about the one at Don Carter Park? Lanier
Oh, that's right. They are doing that, aren't they?
Lanier was doing it, and they've invited everyone who wants to participate.
Yeah.
Is that Don Carter Park?
Yeah, it's off of Clarksbridge Road on the way to Gainesville from here.
Right, yeah.
It's a really nice park, so I think they'd end up having a nice setup down there.
Can you just
And,
go in and walk around it or do you have to sign up for anything?
No, they said just show up.
Okay. I'd like to probably go down and at least observe some stuff, you know? But I'm probably not gonna participate.
Yeah, you must have been asleep the other night on the net, and Craig announced it.
I wasn't on the net the other night.
Yeah, I know.
I
That's
was
what I
asleep.
That's what I told him. I said, Rick's probably sleeping.
Yeah, you did.
Woke up and I said, damn, I forgot to. It's on.
I set the alarm on my clock so that it goes off every Sunday night about 15 minutes before the net.
Well, you know, it's right around dinner time too, so it could have been chowing down or something.
Got a smartphone, set a timer, set an alarm on it.
I'd wonder why it was going off.
And put names on them.
Okay.
All right.
You win, you win. Yeah, I will do that.
Just trying to think of anything I could have to share from ARES upwards. There's some exercises, statewide exercises coming up. They're going to try to do once a quarter type stuff. The set this year, which is in October, so we got plenty of time, is going to be a multi-day event. So I think we did what, 3 or 4 hours to that last time? Did we even do 3 or 4 hours? Did we do like an hour? They're going to have a lot going on in October for that. As we get closer, we'll discuss it, but they're doing things like having full teams be deployed to a site for 24 hours. And then when they get there, they're given injects and tasks to do, such as drive a half mile up the road and set up an HF station and contact this guy over here type stuff. Yeah, I don't know if we're at that level yet, but maybe by then we will be. I think we need to start getting down that path and start thinking about things like that if we can.
I may have to stick that 440 I got in the van and try to set it up somewhere.
Yeah.
I did that in Ohio. I took a G5 RV up to Ohio with me one weekend, and I talked to my buddy over in LJ with it.
Yeah, there you go.
Another neat portable antenna is the one that Donald over here in our club, he had a Cobra, and it's an 80 meter, but it's each side of the dipole is shaped like an S. So instead of being 125 feet long, it's a third of that.
Oh, is that looks like a 3 element? It goes out, back,
Yeah.
and back out again. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And if you can find ribbon cable, you could probably make one on ribbon cable for low power anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
And it's
25,
fed with
30
ladder,
bucks
so
anyway.
you probably need a decent tuner.
Maybe Russ will help us with an antenna, a nice mobile antenna for Envis.
Where is Russ?
I can do that.
He's there.
I'm here.
Oh, gee.
All right.
Am I
We'll be thinking about that. That might be next month's program then, Russ.
okay? We can do it. I can make antennas. Throw them up the tree.
I mean, for what we want to use 80 meters for, literally you take some wire and you put in, 10 feet off the ground, and you put a tuner on it, and it's fine.
That's right.
It's fine. It doesn't need to be optimal. It's fine.
I mean, you can have a short 80 meter too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can do
You're
it.
not trying to reach China, so what the hell?
All right, guys, I gotta go to my next meeting.
All right, Russ. Thanks, man.
All right.
See you, Russ.
See you, Russ.
See you,
Oh,
Russ.
Thursday. Be on Thursday.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Go ahead. See you, Russ.
See ya. Bye.
All right. Speaking of Thursday, anyone willing to be net control for Thursday for the ARES net? Alan?
Crickets chirping.
I know.
What about the regular net?
I think Renee's going to do that one
Oh, okay.
because she failed to nominate anyone at the last meeting, so she got the.
Well, I mean, if you wanted, I would take it to ask her about that.
I think she'll be fine with the regular net.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll do the ARES net. There's a script on the Group IO page, actually. I don't know if you guys have you even seen it. Where is is it here? I can't read anymore. No. Stand by. I'll show you guys. Too many groups. It's too many groups.
Now to get here, do you just put in just search on groups IO?
I just went to groups.io as the address.
Okay.
And I'm logged in already, so it showed me all my groups that I'm a member of,
Ah, okay.
which is too many, like I said. But if you go to the bottom and go to wiki, there's just some contacts. But if you go to pages, there's a monthly net script right here. And there's your script. Piece of cake. So really easy. Or Rick wanted to see, what do you want to see? You want to see channel selection? And let's do this real fast unless you guys have something else. I mean, feel free to drop off if you're that bored.
I wanted to see finding gateways.
Yeah. So I'll do it real fast here. So if we go on, just do say RDOP WinLink. If I open a session here, I'm not going to send anything. It's going to initialize like it always does. And you wait for it and come on, you can do it. There we go. If you go to channel selection from here, so this is the RDOP WinLink. So this is HF RDOP trying to connect to a gateway. And if you click channel selection there, it'll have a list that you need to update every so often. I think I updated it last night or maybe Sunday. And this is a list of all of the RDOP gateways that are out there. The key here is these last two columns are your reliability and your quality estimates. So the greener and the bigger the number, the more likely you are to actually contact them.
Is that based on where you're at now, or is that based on some other location?
It's based on the grid square that you have in your WinLink software.
Okay, good.
So
Then
AB4.
you tune it to that frequency.
So if you have everything set up, if you have rig control set up properly, all you have to do is double click on this guy. And it will not only update this, it'll change the frequency on your radio for you.
Yeah, I haven't figured out how to get mine to change the frequency on my radio.
Okay, well that's the next step because that's a pretty powerful feature, especially in
Because,
HF.
I was able to get it out. I'm able to get my WinLink to start keying my radio,
Yeah,
but I had to have it on the frequency to start with.
yeah.
But I wasn't sure what frequency to use, so I probably burned up somebody's ears. Not intentionally, but
These are all way down at the low end of the band, aren't they?
Let's see, 30, was it 35? Yeah, they're trying to be down at the digital, I guess.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go to the other radio.
See, this is AB4NX. This is Larry. He's one of our, I'm gonna make him a state officer too. He doesn't know it yet. Because he does a lot of stuff. He does a lot of stuff with digital. He's got his gateways, and he like for the Red Cross exercise. Remember they set up gateways and digipeters for that, just for that exercise. He built all those for us. So yeah, your hard work's rewarded with more hard work. So anyway, that's where you picked that, Rick. Did I cover what you needed?
Yeah. I'll find it now that I know where to go look for it.
Oh, look, map. Oh, look at that. That's fancy. Keep forgetting that exists. I don't think it's very useful, but there it is. Whatever. Anyway, I wonder if that's good for. Is that good for pointing your antenna? Is that what that's for?
Oh yeah, your 80-meter beam.
Yeah, my 80-meter beam. Because it's got bearing and range, right? So I don't know. Cool. All right. Anything else from you guys?
Are we getting any closer to getting anything done on the station?
That's a fine question. I stopped by. I think I told you guys what's holding up the radio room itself, right? Is there are people in the room, and they're going to move to the old library once that's done. And so I've been once a week or so, unrelated to that, driving by the old library and seeing progress. In the last couple of weeks, they put the big fences around the building like they're starting major construction.
So something is getting done, however tiny.
Well, yeah, I think the original schedule is they were supposed to be out of that room in October. I had a meeting with Lorraine, and we're like, that ain't gonna happen, you know that? And she's like, yeah, I know that. Maybe by the end of the year. And now they're just starting the major construction on where they're going. So who knows how long it's going to be.
Yeah,
So
you would think that since they want us there for them, that they would want to be there for us.
yeah.
You know, and that's not what's happening at all.
Well, I mean, that's for the room. She's actually, I worked with her to try to get us an antenna on the roof of the fire building, get us some coax, run down, get a radio. So that big room that we met in the first time, the EOC, get coax put up in the ceiling there. So if we need to be deployed there, we can just pull the coax down and plug in. She's doing stuff. It's just, I guess you have to wait on A, which means you have to wait on B, which means you have to wait on C. So it's kind of a chain of events have to finish to get the room ready. I think that really got hurt with COVID too, right? Because no one, it was working there for a while, at least last year at all. Remember, she used our exercise as one of her exercises because she couldn't get together. She couldn't get her people together. So they're really struggling with that. So I need to email her and get a meeting with her and get on Zoom, and we need to talk. I'll pull Renee in because she's more organized than I am. And I'll say, look, it's district officers, yay.
As much as I disagreed with everything that was going on here in Gilmer County, the county has set them up a complete station, HF, VHF, UHF. It's over at the airport. The antennas are up, and they're just, they've done it right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and it didn't take a year.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have to build it though, did they? So.
No, they didn't. But it just looks to me like something could be arranged you know, temporarily or something. You
Yeah.
know, a disaster's not going to wait for building something.
Correct. Correct.
And I apologize for, you know, being so direct about it, but I just feel like that nobody's really doing anything for us at all. Because
No, you're right. It's been a year, and we should have some progress, and we don't have any. But how much is that the EMA office, and how much is that just government?
Well, how hard is it to put up an antenna? Really?
Well, it's very hard because that's also the 911 center. So, like, you can't climb the tower. You have to get insured, bonded, a licensed climber to get on the tower.
So there aren't any of those around Lumpkin County?
Not that I want to pay for. It was $3,000 just for him to show up.
Wow.
Whoa.
Because if he messes up, he messes up the 911 center, and that's a big deal, right? So,
I guess I just
Here in White County. And then a couple of years ago, when they lost all of the phones to the 911 center, and we were the only way to get out.
Yep.
We got even better support after that. So,
Yep.
but you know, I think we have some help because we have some ex EME direct EMS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the members in the club used to be an EMA director, or whatever you want to call him, someplace. But at the end of the year, if they had money in the budget, then that's a good time to try and hit them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe at the new part of the year when they got money in the budget, but maybe this has got them all wound up. So
Yeah. Definitely need to talk to her about it. Luckily and unluckily. So fortunately, we didn't have a lot of disaster to help with. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of disasters to make an impression, right? So we kind of get forgotten when that happens. So you guys go create tornadoes or something so we can show ourselves. All right, anything else from you guys?
Non-related, is Randy the person that was used to be the secretary of the main club? Is he still in town?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, I just went
haven't
by.
heard
It looked
anything.
like there were about 10 crews at his house. I didn't know if he had moved or what.
Oh goodness. I don't know. It's been, oh Lord, right before Thanksgiving maybe is last I heard.
Yeah, I heard him he worked with the Six Gap. He was on the radio then. He took part, but I haven't heard or seen from him since then.
Yeah, I
I
think he had
I contacted him a couple of times about, you know, changing over the secretary job and everything. Other than being very vague about everything, that was probably around Thanksgiving, or maybe early December. But that's the only contact I've had with him.
So he's okay as far as anybody knows, though.
Yeah, last I heard,
Okay. He's a quiet guy
he is.
in private.
Actually, I'll get Renee to email him and see what happens.
Okay.
All right. Anything else from you guys? I'm
Nope.
sleepy. I didn't go to bed. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Need a shower. Peace.
Hey, Paul, I need to talk to you when you get a chance.
all right.
I'll talk on the radio.
Mike,
On
email
Tuesday.
me today and I'll get you a Zoom meeting and we'll get your win link set up.
Okay, I'll be free pretty much. I've got doctor's appointments this week. I'll be free next week, and I'll be at your convenience.
Just say pick a day, 7 o'clock, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, not Thursday, I guess. Monday or Friday, I guess, 7 o'clock.
Okay, we'll work next week.
What are you
I've
doing
got
Saturday at
code
10?
2 days a week and a few other things, but we'll do it with CW.
All right.
Okay, I'll call you next week.
All right.
And thank you. I've neglected this and I shouldn't have.
You're all good, man.
Hey, I'm retro.
All right. Good night, guys. Thanks for
Good
Good
coming.
night, everybody. Take
Thanks,
care.
Aaron.
Talk to you
Bye.
Thursday.
The radio or the phone?
Huh?
Huh?